Hello folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and we are in the Python basic series for beginners. Our today's topic of discussion is matrix operations using lists. So what is a matrix? A matrix is a collection of numbers arranged in rectangular array in rows and columns. So this is something that we already know, we have studied in our school days. Now how to create a matrix with a list. Okay, so matrix is nothing but a list of list. So if we want rows and columns, we have to take two-dimensional list, and that's what we have done here. So we have taken a variable matrix, and inside a list we have taken three separate lists. In the first list we have 1 2 3 4 as elements. In second list we have 5 6 7 8, and in third list we have 9 10 11 and 12. All right, the same list could be written in this way as well. Okay, the operations addition, subtraction, multiplications can be performed easily on the matrix. In this video, we will also have a look at how we can take number of rows and columns from the user. All right. So let's see how we can do this. So if you could see the highlighted text, we have taken a variable row and variable column to take number of rows and columns as inputs. And this is something that you already know, that is int input method will um, actually allow to get the numbers as an input from a user. This is something that we have already discussed in our second or third video. So you may have a look at it. I will post the link of that video in the description of this video. Then what here we have done is we have initiated an empty list and then applied for loop, one for rows and one for columns. And slowly we have populated the lists that are inside that outer list, and that inside list we are calling it as a. So let's have an understanding of this code with the help of Python tutor, as we always do. All right, if anyone is not aware of the for loop, we have separate video for loop and nested for. Kindly check those videos to get more knowledge. I will also paste those links in the description of this video. So let's go to Python tutor and run the same code here. Let's take this code as it is and run it over there. Once we have pasted the code over here, then what we have to do, we have to see the step-by-step execution. So I will enter the number of rows and then I'll submit. Again, I will enter the number of columns and I'll submit. You could see here, number of rows entered are 2 and number of columns entered are 2. Now, what we will do, we will create a outer list called as matrix is equal to a blank matrix. And then we will see how we can populate the inner list inside that. So to populate rows, they have taken this A. Let's execute the next step. And what it is saying, enter the entries row wise. So one by one it is asking for entries row wise. Now for rows, they have taken a variable row, small row in range capital row. Now this capital row is nothing but 2. So the range will be from 0 to 1 and it will start from 0. So when I click next, see row has got assigned to 0. So the first iteration for outer loop has started. It will assign A is equal to empty matrix. Look at this. And then we move on to column in range column again it is 2. It will start from 0. So we are, after this line, we are in 0th row and 0th column. Okay, now a dot append, this append method appends elements to the list. What is append, we have already seen in the previous video. If you have forgotten it, I will add the link of that video in the description of this video. Now a dot append int input. So whatever input will be entered, the first whatever element you want to enter, you can enter it. So I will enter 1 here and submit. Okay, so see in the list A, 1 has got appended. Next, if I click next, it asks me for another input. So I will enter. So I am in the first row, that is 0th row and first column now. So I will enter any number I want. Here in this case, I am entering 2. So again, the inner list A got appended with value 2. Okay, now if I press next matrix, what we are doing, this inner list we will append to the outer list. So matrix dot append A. Next, look at this. So this is the matrix, this is the 0th element of matrix. In that 0th element you have what, you have a list. You have list, that is a row, that is first row, and that contains 1 and 2. All right, this is 0th element of what, outer list, and this is the 0, this one is 0th element of inner list, and this 2 is 0th element, is first element of inner list. All right, now we will repeat this thing for the second inner list as well. So let's see, it came inside. Now A will become empty again. Look at this, A became empty, and it will ask us for new values to be entered in second row. So if I want to enter 3, submit. Look at this, 3 came in. Then next, again it asks for me, ask me for the next value, 4. 3 and 4 got added in next inner list. Okay, this was the first inner list, this is the second inner list. Now if I do next, it comes to the matrix.append part. So it, now the outer list, that is matrix, has two elements, 0 and 1. In 0th element, this is the list. In first element, this is the list. So list inside a list, a matrix. Okay, now we have to print this matrix. So for printing this matrix, we are again printing rows and columns in the same way, and it will get printed. So I need not now describe all these steps. You are already aware of the for loop, so I expect you that you would be knowing. Just have a look at this output. It will be displayed in the form of matrix that we require. This is just to print that matrix. This code has been applied. Now if you look at it carefully, observe the output, you will see the expected matrix has been printed, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is how we take input from a user for a particular matrix. Okay, now let's move ahead in our main discussion, that is matrix operations. Okay, now here before moving ahead, they have just shown in particular positions how you can replace an element. That is, if you have this 3, and if you are saying that row in row with index 1 and column with index 1, if you want to change by 11, you can change it, because first row, that is this one, because this is your 0th row, this is first and this is second. So first row and first column is equal to 1. And what you want to do, x of row and x of column, x of row and column is equal to 11. You want to change it to 11, you can change it to 11. Okay, so what you are saying essentially here, row is equal to column is equal to 1, that is x of 1, and in the this second square bracket also it is 1, that I want to make it 11. So you are saying that you want to change first row and first column to 11. It was 5 initially, it has gone changed to 11. Now next, with the help of negative indexing, same thing has been done. If you want to know about negative indexing and indexing, you can refer to my previous video which was made for strings. In that I have discussed it. Okay, now the same thing, how do we access it? So if there is a matrix and you want to access a particular element, you have to first mention the outer, the index of the outer list, that is in this case 0. If I want to retrieve 3 from the above matrix, then I will mention 0th row and second column. So 0th row and second column, it's 3, and it will give me the output 3. So this in the first square brace, you need to mention the index of outer list. In the second square brace, you need to mention the index of the inner list, index of that value in the inner list. Okay, then here comes the main part, that is the operations part of adding two numbers. Now let's have a look at how we can add two numbers. Okay, adding two numbers is very easy. These two metrics we have taken, as we know, we can take input from users as well. Then result is equal to this is what we have initialized a variable result, and as we are doing addition, initially we have put all the entries as 0 in that matrix. Then we iterate over rows and columns. This time we iterate till when? Till the length, iterate over the rows till the length of x. I mean, this is x, this is y. Okay, now len of x is what? This 1, this is the first element for x, this is the second element for x, and this is the third element for x. So it will go till 3. 0 to 3 means 0, 1 and 2 will be the range, actual range. Okay, similarly for column as well. So you may mention here x of 0, or you may mention x of 1, both x of 1 or x of 2, because all of those have 3. All of those will return you length as 3 only, because it has 3 columns. X has only 3 columns, not more than that. You can mention anything, and then the result you will get is you can calculate the result using result row column is equal to x of row column plus y of row column. That's it, and you will get the addition. The addition will be the matrix addition we used to do in our school days: 1 plus 9 10, 2 plus 8 10, 3 plus 7 10, and so on. So the resultant matrix would be all tens in this case. Look at this, we got the output. Okay, so this is the first operation that we did on the matrix. And similarly, you can do a multiplication as well for a particular matrix. Let's see if we get the results. Look at that. We have the results for the multiplications as well. So we are taking some R matrix. We are initializing those values to zeros, and then we are getting the multiplication as well. So let's see what was given inside x and y. So it's pretty much the same x and y that are being used, and we get the result as expected. So multiplication, addition, subtraction you can do, just you have to change the sign. Now there is one more thing called as transpose of a matrix, where we interchange rows and columns. Okay, similar things we have done again. The only difference is we have done a small trick here. Instead of result of column row, I mean this statement, what we have done, we have just tweaked it. Instead of column, we are mentioning row over here, and instead of row we are mentioning column. So transpose of matrix is also one of the operations, and we get the expected results. Okay, so if you could see here, the column has changed to row, and row has changed to the column. So that's all about the matrix operations. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. In this video, we covered how to take, we covered matrix, and we saw how to create a matrix that is nothing but a 2D list. We also called it as a list of lists, and we saw how to take user inputs to create matrix, and then we saw how we can perform various operations like addition, multiplication, and transpose of a matrix. So with this, we we have come to the end of this video. See you in the next session. Thank you.